marketing strategies I share with you today.
It was beautiful. Do you see what he did there?
He's doing so many combos because he's also doing a pace increase.
Where we have this, like the tricolon and the hexacolon. So that
climax towards the end.
it gives us a reason why we want to stick around.
My movement doesn't add to what I'm saying.
The self-laughter he has, the smile on his face at the same time as he's doing a repetition.
The currency of presentations.
Oh, yes.
Friends and followers, welcome back. Or maybe we should turn that around and you say welcome back to me, because it's about 18 months since I published anything on YouTube, quite literally. But yes, we are back. I am back. I'm sorry for being away, but I happened to write a book called High on Life, and it became incredibly popular, and it's been translated into 34 languages. It took a bit of time launching the book all over the world, but now I'm back. It's, 3 years ago since I reacted to PewDiePie, and PewDiePie reacted to me, and then KSI, and then Jacksepticeye, you know, the legends. Of all the content I've made on YouTube, it seems like you have all appreciated my reaction videos the most, where I analyze what they do in small bits, in things that normal human beings don't see. And to take this to the very next level, to make this even more entertaining, to give you even more value, I have a friend, I have a colleague who's worked by my side for over a decade. He is a mastermind when it comes to finding the small details, equal to what I do. And he's the guy awkwardly standing behind me. So applause and cheers for Alexander Grabner-Jarlung.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. No.
Oh my God, it is excellent to have you doing the reaction videos.
Thank you so much. I've been waiting impatiently, sitting on the sideline, just waiting like, "Coach, put me in there!" And then finally, I am here. I'm very, very, very happy.
It is time, it is due. Yeah. And the reason we need to be two people is because there's quite a lot of things to track. Let's shift to this angle. Boom. You have
110 steps, and I mean, you spent 7 years at 5,000 public speakers, and just to find how to objectively move one from one area to another one, and that's what you have on the other side. 110 different skills. And then
we have the Spice Rack.
That's over there.
Which are 136 different ways that you can vary your webinar, your meeting, and your presentation.
Oh, yes.
I see the Spice Rack almost like spicing food. You know, when you've eaten something that is well spiced, tastes excellent, what do people say? They say, "I want the recipe. How did you make that? Can I have more?" They keep talking about it with their friends. You know, we went to this dinner. It was exquisite. It was just marvelous, you know, and they want to come back. That is a metaphor, and that is skill 86. So number 86 in the JP Spice Rack, that is an example of one of the variations you can use as a speaker and presenter. Each variation creates contrast, and each contrast creates and grabs attention, which is the currency of presentations.
Oh, yes.
Attention.
Yeah.
And the very idea of both of these is that the more skills you apply from the 110 steps, the more spices you apply in your content, the more brilliant you are. And you can become so brilliant that you can literally make time stop in a room doing a presentation. We've been challenged by our CEO. Yes, we are not the bosses of this company.
No, we aren't. Somebody else is in charge.
Lucas came around and he said, sponsored by Presenter Mastery, which is the online training program that he is in charge of and that we two run. If you want to find out more about that, look in the description for the link to that program if you want to become a master presenter. He came around to us and he said, the reaction videos, I love them. I think it's kind of the best things that we've done. And I agree, if you look at the old stuff, it's brilliant. You know, you learn so much from it. So he said, let's pick up some new legends. Yeah, let's become current. Let's pick up new presentations. Maybe it's CEOs, maybe it's presidents, maybe it's vice presidents, maybe it's legends of webinars, of sales. Let's have a look at these people and analyze them from the 110 steps and the Spice Rack. Can you just give like one example from the 110 steps, just to give them a perspective of what it is, just before we start looking at that first video.
All right, so let's go with one of the favorites, the classic one. The majority of people have this. It would be skill number 25, which is filler sounds. So when I do the analysis, and David does the analysis, when we do this, we look for things that either people are doing well or people are doing not so great. And filler sounds are one of those things that we really want to have people avoiding because it just drags the attention. And what I mean is the noises that you can make, even smacking lips. Exactly. We give feedback then on what filler sounds the person is using, how many times they apply it, and also how to get rid of it. So that is just one skill, and this is what we can do with all the 110 different ones.
Yeah. What Alex actually does in the Presenter Mastery program is anyone who signs up to that, they actually send in a video and he goes through every single one of the 110 steps to give you an idea of which do you fulfill, which don't you fulfill, which are your greatest exponential growth possibilities. All right, let's find out the first person that our CEO, Lucas, has picked for us to analyze. And you can read the descriptive text of the person and then we'll start the video after that.
All right,
here we go.
Alex Hormozi is one of the biggest business, marketing, and sales influencers and coaches in the world today. Alex runs the company acquisition.com together with his wife, Leila, scaling businesses using their best practices on their way to a billion dollar portfolio. Billion. All right, in this video, we're going to watch the launch of Alex's latest book, $100 million lead. See, that's where I recognize. Alex,
He actually did a video where he mentioned my name, where he said...
And then I watched this presentation that actually changed my life. It's a 15-minute TED Talk. It was called Death by PowerPoint. It actually forever changed how I made presentations.
He had looked at my first TED Talk and it was a game changer. Check out how to avoid death by PowerPoint. All right, this is going to be fun.
All right, let's go.
He is freaking amazing. Okay, here we go.
All right. No, you do the honors.
Yep.
So here's my promise to you guys today. I can show you how to get...
Oh, I'm going to time out right there. Here's the thing.
3 seconds.
Yes, I know, 3 seconds, but it was beautiful. Do you see what he did there? So he took his hand on his chest, showing effect.
Yeah.
Showing effect. That is like, you become really personal. Like, my promise. And he says that my promise to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful skill to use. Beautiful skill to use.
You actually mean the hand then, because the promise, that's actually a spice. That's a why.
Yeah.
He promises something. I promise you.
Strangers to want to buy your stuff. And I want to be clear. The lead getting strategies I share with you today work for real estate, medical, auto, homeowners, insurance, healthcare, local businesses, home services, financial services, consumer services, software, apps, e-learning, online businesses, e-commerce, and anything.
What? Like in the language category, we have this, like the tricolon and the hexacolon. So that means like the power of 3 or 6. He's double stacking the 6 and then adding 2. The effects of that though is really cool because he is just giving, look at all of this. Boop. Look how much. Like, are you into this area? Then you definitely need to pay attention.
Yeah, the reason you use this skill, and you should use this skill, is if you want to overwhelm somebody and just create an emotional reaction of wow. Yeah. That happens as soon as you hit 6 or more things in a PowerPoint or when you say stuff. I have never seen anyone do 15. He had the rhythm in his hand when he goes along. He counts 1, 2, 3, 4. So he uses functional gestures. Where you find that at skill 44.
Yes.
You increase the value of whatever's being said by visualizing it for the person with your hands. So when you say 5, you say 5 instead of just 5. And when you say stop, you say stop. And adding that functional gesture increases the effect. He does that. What else does he do? Like, when you see a boxer, you see Mike Tyson, he's got these combinations to knock the opponent out. He's doing so many combos because he's also doing a pace increase.
He does.
And he's doing a climax towards the end.
Has a good general eye contact at the same time and focus when he takes key components in that rhythm that he's using at the same time. So he's really looking into the audience. And
he's got an open body language, which is neutral posture, skill 34. Well, the reason you shouldn't have a closed body language because it shows that you're hiding something. So a lot of people can close their hands in front of them like this, or this is the worst example of all. Of course, have the
T-Rex.
The T-Rex. You got the fig leaf position. Those two are to be avoided. He's got his arm relaxed by his side. It's nice. So we can all see now what we pointed out. We want you to have a look at pace, that it's increasing as he goes along.
Yep.
He's building a climax because he increases both volume and pace because he goes faster and louder.
Yep.
He uses his hand to keep the rhythm.
Yes.
He uses 15 different things that he says.
Eye contact and that he
open
has.
body language.
Open language. Yep.
All right, let's have a look at that.
The lead getting strategies I share with you today work for real estate, medical, auto, homeowners, insurance, healthcare, local businesses, home services, financial services, consumer services, software, apps, e-learning, online businesses, e-commerce, and anything that sells stuff to anyone.
Boom.
And I know that...
And anything that sells, and he's got a pause.
And anything that sells stuff to anyone.
That's it. That's it. Why do we use pauses?
Well, it can be from increasing the value, having time for reflection, can be to focus on, for the audience to, again, reflect over what it is that you have just told them, to build anticipation. So there's different ones. You have 21, 22, you have so many different reasons why you want to have them. Yeah. He has high pace. Yeah. So he goes out like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but then all of a sudden he just comes out that little cut.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it's like taking a deep breath. Just at that moment, it's like, what is it going to happen now? Yeah. So what's going to happen?
I don't know. Let's hear it.
Look.
And I know they work because I use them in our portfolio companies today, which include software, local business, e-commerce, consumer services, medical services.
I got to stop there. I love this. What he does here, that little self-laughter he has, the smile on his face at the same time as he's doing a repetition of like the same type of style he did before, and then goes again.
Skill 64 is amplifying head movement. So this is an amplifying head movement. We commonly use that when we listen to people. So when a person is speaking to you, if you tend to nod your head, they will be more inclined to speak to you. This can also be used as a non-verbal signal to confirm that whatever you're saying is positive and good. And as you can see, not only does he have a rhythm in his voice and his body language, but he nods accordingly to each thing that he says. Yeah. And that smile.
Yeah. Software, local business, e-commerce, consumer services, medical services, professional services, home services, and more. So I know this works from experience and not theory, which brings up one of my favorite quotes from L.H. Hardwick.
Oh, that's here we go.
That's
Spicy.
There's so freaking many. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always fun with
the number. Where is the spice? Where is the quote?
Let's see.
51. I found
there we go.
It. Yeah.
Yep. During the content.
The purpose of a quote is to increase the credibility of whatever you're saying. So if you've said something and you want to increase the credibility of that even more, you refer to a person who has a higher credibility than yourself, or maybe is similar to yourself. So yeah, let's say what the quote is.
Which brings up one of my favorite quotes from L.H. Hardwick. A man with an experience is never at the mercy of a man with an opinion.
I would suggest, though, of course, he's doing a lot of good things, but I would a little tiny recommendation, maybe go down in pace there. Because he is on a high pace, has been on a high pace. Of course, he had the pause there, but just maybe there to really set that.
The reason you go down in pace is because you want to accentuate that something is important. And the reason you go up in pace is because you want to pass something that isn't important. What he's actually non-verbally signaling is that this quote isn't very important. And considering how what kind of a genius he is, you know, I'm thinking, maybe he doesn't think the quote is that important. He just wants to refer to a quote. I don't know. We can't read his mind.
That would be weird.
We can, however, say this. If you want your quote to stand out, go down in pace, because that will be seen as more important. It'll be seen as more important than going fast.
For those of you who do know me, I want to address the elephant in the room. Is Alex going to finally sell us something? Has anyone else been wondering this?
I could consider this as one of the ultimate skills. Yeah. And that would be role playing. Yeah. So what he does is he's talking third person step up, like a step back. Will Alex finally? So he goes into the perspective of the ones who's listening to him and being there on the either online or on the stage. So he's giving that role play, meaning that he's talking to himself or towards himself in third person. Yeah. And it's beautifully executed as well. Will Alex finally sell us something?
Yeah. Because what happens when you do that is you change the state of mind for the people sitting listening. They will now change their perspective of how they view the information, and in this case from their perspective instead of his perspective. Very, very skilled.
Has anyone else been wondering this? Because it's been 2 years and the only thing I've made available for purchase is a Kindle book for $1.99. So I can't tell you the answer to that yet. You'll have to stay and find out. But what I can tell you,
You'll have to wait and find out. That is D-O-P-A-M-I-N-E, dopamine.
It gives us a reason why we want to stick around. It's like,
yeah.
I have to stick around.
Like the absolute fundamentals of any presentation is producing dopamine in your audience. Because if you fail to do that, they'll find it somewhere else, and that will be in their mobile phones. So we can easily say that any presentation that doesn't produce dopamine will fail. It'll fail.
Yeah.
So you got to keep people hooked. And when we teach this, we talk about macro dopamine, the big one, and then we talk about the micro dopamines and the nano dopamines. So there's the macro dopamine is the big one. That's the one in the beginning. That's where you launch promises that will make people produce small amounts of dopamine through the entire session in the hopes of getting the answer to the question that was presented in the beginning. So people will now, their dopamine levels will go higher because they'll go like, he hasn't offered us anything in 2 years. Is he going to offer us? It sounded like he's going to offer us something. And even 30 minutes from now, that would be like 31 minutes and 19 seconds into the presentation, this will still be squirting out small dopamine injections into the brains of the audience where they go like, is it going to come soon? Is it going to come soon? And he may even, we won't look at the entire 127, but it's very common that the presenter teases about it a little bit later on. Where he could say things like, so is this something I'm going to sell you? No. But I may have something that you can buy later on. I'm not entirely certain yet. Let's carry on. You can just keep on teasing.
I also want to go into like out of the 110 steps, skill 64 is used here. And if we just go back, and what I'm going to address here is skill 64 is amplifying head movement.
so I can't tell you the answer to that yet. You'll have to stay and find out. But what I can tell you is,
smile.
at the end of the presentation,
Did you see that little? He's amplifying, so he's going up a little like
Yeah.
Again,
That head movement.
Yes, increasing that value of the head movement of like I'm going to. I like wait. I'm going to give you.
if every single person here live to give you the special project that I've been working on for 4 years.
That's more D-O-P-A-M-I-N.
Yeah,
That's like,
that is
project
definitely
4
in the
years.
spice tracking. Yeah.
That is again just upping the dopamine. So if people, when they came into the call, they were like, okay, this will be good. And then he went with this promise in the beginning. People went, okay, all right, I'm with you. And then the first dopamine injection that he did just previous to this, people were leaning forwards and they go like, is he going to sell us something? And then he goes, project I've been working on 4 years. The guy's a genius. How good can this be? It could be amazing. Now people are leaning forwards, and if we were in the room, we could literally see the physical effect of people's body language based on those dopamine injections.
Yeah. He's using PowerPoint. That and then probably you were wondering, should people use PowerPoint? PowerPoint is bad. PowerPoint is the worst thing that happened in the last 38 years. No, it's not. It's one of the greatest things that has been invented. It's just that we have no idea how to use it the proper way. So in this case, but I said the majority of people have no idea how to use it. If I would, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna. Yeah, your PowerPoint is probably very good, at least after you watch his TED Talk. But in this case, what he's doing is like, again, he's pushing the anticipation, he's creating that dopamine where it says, and he shows this to the audience, and I can't tell you what it is yet. Again, like what? He not only verbally said it, he's now showing him it. You'll find out in a moment, again, pushing it. But what I can tell you? And then I was like, he's gonna give me something. So I'm intrigued.
Intrigued?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I want to see the rest of this.
All right.
And I can't tell you what it is yet. You'll find out in a moment. But what I can tell you is, it's more than a gift card. It's less than a
One thing, though, that I've noticed and I've taken since he started off, there is one thing that we have to pull out that could help him a little bit more into his into the stage work that he's doing, and that would be skill number. Let's see, yeah, it is 3, and that would be irrational movement. There is a little bit I would consider as irrational movement. He's pacing up sometimes back and forth where there is no need for it. Sure. But again, he's
a genius. He's not a god.
No, I know, but we're giving like ups and downs. I mean, we can't just go like, oh, you're such a great book, you're doing everything great. There's always room for improvements. I have it, you have it, everyone have it. So if we would ever have a feedback call with him, we would be one of those, like, sometimes you maybe, because Irrational Movement would signal that there might be an uncertainty. Maybe it's stage fright in his case, definitely not. But it can be that he's under pressure, he's under stress, he has a little bit of higher level of cortisol and adrenaline in his body, and
or it's just not planned. But one more reason why you shouldn't do this is because it reduces the clarity of the message.
Yeah.
So if I do this with you now and I say, well, welcome to this talk. I'm going to show you how to do a presentation. We're going to have a look at PowerPoint and how to truly produce good PowerPoints. My movement doesn't add to what I'm saying, and therefore clarity is reduced.
Yep.
So stand still or use functional movements.
And every single person here live today will get one for free. And you will be the only people who get one. And I did it this way so that next time I say
Dopamine.
be there, it'll be worth it. Anyone not here will believe me because I give them proof that I keep my promises. And to the same degree as we dive in,
I just want to jump back here. So there was one moment.
be there, it'll be worth it. Anyone not here will believe me because I give them proof that I keep my promise.
There we go. So if you can take a look, really closely look into his eyes. So he's coming to focus points where he's giving a promise, like proof. What he does is breaking the eye contact there at that specific moment where he says,
anyone not here will believe me because I give them proof.
It closes his eyes.
He closes his eyes, and then you will see he will also start looking down. And that can be, again, he's giving something, just increase that even clarity and also the credibility for and confidence from the audience perspective towards him. It would just, a tiny recommendation would be to just like keep
my promise.
Yeah, and he's moving backwards as well.
Yeah, so he's distancing himself towards that. Yeah, that would be...
Some non-verbal cues, not 100% translating to the verbal cues or verbal communication, right?
And to the same degree as we dive in, I don't expect you to take my word for how good the opportunity I'm about to share with you is.
More dopamine.
I want to prove it to you.
More dopamine.
So let me explain. So when I see stuff like this, it bothers me, right? You see books that say how to market a book, and you can look and say...
All right, so number 13 in the JP Spice Track, criticism. It bothers me.
Yep.
There's 14 reviews on it. So I don't need to read the book to know that the book doesn't contain content that how to market.
At the same time, using skill number 68, that would be statistics. So like rating, he's using numbers. Yep.
Market a book because I have evidence in the real world that the contents of the book are not effective. I don't need to read it. I already know it isn't good.
He's increasing volume now, so he's kind of increasing intensity.
Yeah.
Keeps going backwards and forwards, though. Again, that's the irrational movement.
That was a Spice as well, using imagery.
Right? You should walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. In fact, I'd argue that the walk is the only...
There was the alliteration, walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah. I want to compliment him on his confidence.
Yeah.
It is mad.
Yep.
It is. He's just so influential, convincing. Testosterone levels through the roof. Considering how well his physique looks, he's obviously got the advantage of having more testosterone coming from that, because the more muscle mass you have, the more testosterone is produced. And testosterone is very closely connected to, so studies have shown that you're more likely to get a better deal from a negotiation if you're high on testosterone than if you're low. Same thing in a job interview. If you increase your testosterone just before a job interview, you're more inclined to getting the job than if you don't. And what he could have done, besides spending his entire life building a lot of muscle, he could have popped off to the gym and done a leg session, because leg sessions produce the maximum amount of temporary testosterone.
So what you're telling Alex, don't forget leg day?
He does not need it.
No.
Or he did it. I'm just saying to these guys and girls that if you want more testosterone, well, have more muscles, but that takes a lot of time. If you don't have that, you still have the muscles you have. Go and do a leg day or leg session before your presentation, and you will build testosterone. There's so many other ways to build testosterone as well. Do pick up the book High on Life. There's 10 ways to produce testosterone besides that as well. One is, of course, music, visualizations.
I have to give him I couldn't let this slip. There is one thing that really I feel that I connect with him. I had to itch myself here at the same time, but I connect with him, and it's skill number 75 in 110 steps, and that is attire. So the way that he's dressed,
Attire, yeah.
not a tire, attire. Attire.
Got some beautiful
clothing.
The good years he's got behind him.
Clothing.
The beautiful.
No, if you take a look at him, you will see that he is dressed like any average Joe in this case, but it's making me connect because he has the similar style that I like to enjoy. A nice jeans shirt. I'm not as well built as he is. Having a cap on, good looking beard. It's just the way that he. If he would come out with a big like fancy suit, I wouldn't connect with him. But this is probably very strategically well picked clothing for that specific second. I hope that he either had on a couple of cool cowboy boots or some nice sneakers. Yep.
All right, so the big question is, what would you rate him? From the 110 steps, there's 110 possible points.
I'm extremely impressed with what I see. From between my index and my thumb, I would go with he is scoring without like 74, 76 around that area from what I see.
I would aim for the around 78, just similar. But this usually takes us an hour to do. We look at every single thing and we score every single thing. So we're just estimating and guesstimating here. And to give you some kind of reference on that, when you're a I've never seen a public speaker like him pass 95, I think.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's only stand-up comedians that can go higher.
Yeah.
Because their repertoire is bigger, because you score a heck of a lot, because they can just push every skill to the absolute limit.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he's world class.
Yeah.
An interesting thing I just want to point out at the end, and that is that when I did my TED Talks, and I know when you do your talks, we actually add mistakes to make them more human.
Yep.
So
Skill 106.
Skill 106. Because otherwise it just seems inhuman if we just nail every skill, every spice. It can't be too perfect, because then we fail on 107, which is present and authentic. And that's a really important skill, both 108 and 107.
Yep.
Saying that, I hope this has been inspiring. If it has been, please drop us a comment. Tell us what you learned from it. I think that would be a fun thing to pick up. Like I learned this, I took this with me, I'm going to use this.
We have to give Alex
an applause.
Very well done. If you watch this,
Well done, Alex. Well done. Saying that, I think we're pretty done with this one, right?
We are.
All right. This was loads of fun. This is the first reaction video in a couple of years.
High five.
Enjoy doing it with you, man.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.